Hey guys, I've got another Marvel Legends buyer's guide for you, and as you can see, we're looking at Daredevil. So Daredevil isn't my favorite character, but I do think he's had a lot of really cool releases in Marvel Legends form. So as usual, we'll be taking a look at how well the figure was brought to life based on the character design on the page, as well as the accessories and how much you can find them for. So stick around and we're gonna get right into it. So here are the Marvel Legends Daredevils, and these are actually in release order. So we're just gonna start with the left, and this was a Walgreens exclusive. So this was one of the earliest exclusives that they had. This is based on the original costume. I'll be doing a side-by-side so that you can see how it compares to the original comic book. And otherwise, it's a pretty basic body. I believe this is the Bucky cap body mold. And as far as accessories go, you can see that we do have his billy clubs. They come in a nice red. And then otherwise, he actually also comes with a civilian head. Here's a close-up of the two, side by side. And I think they reused this head, but I can't remember exactly who they may have reused it for. It kind of looks like Cyclops, but I think they may have used it for somebody else. Pretty decent sculpt on the civilian head, although you can kind of see that this is early Hasbro Marvel Legends, where the hair is not actually molded separately, but it's molded into the head itself. And you'll soon see that we see this body quite a bit more with our next releases. So the yellow and brown Daredevil, you can still actually find at Walgreens for retail. They're getting to be fewer and fewer. However, if you're not able to find them there, then you can find them on eBay for about 30 bucks. Next up, we have the Hobgoblin Daredevil. So this one has no additional accessories besides the billy clubs. This time we have them in white. And this is the same exact body mold as the previous one. So it's the Bucky cap body mold. And you can even see that the hands are basically the same hands. The right side is a trigger finger hand. The left side is kind of just a generic gripping hand. And that's really it. There's not a whole lot special about this figure other than it being the first Hasbro Marvel Legends Daredevil in red. And this one you'll find on eBay for about $45+. Next up, this is Daredevil from the Amazon Exclusive Defenders 4-pack. And you can see that it's again using the same exact body. This time the billy clubs are painted red with a nice silver handle finish. Otherwise, the body is the same exact body as the previous two. It's really the paint difference that we'll see here. So you can see just side by side that they're kind of using the inverse colors. If you really wanted to, I suppose you could swap the boots and they'd probably be a better red match by switching them. Although then the arms, you can't really switch without there being at least some of the brighter red or the darker red mixed in, depending on what you're going for. Also interesting is that the horns on the Amazon one are actually colored a darker red. And then the only other major difference is that the D's on the Amazon one is actually outlined in black, which helps make it pop a bit. So this Daredevil you'll be able to find on eBay for about $50. This Daredevil was released as part of the Spider Wave. And this one is actually taking inspiration from the 2016 run of Daredevil. So it's very, very different from the previous releases and even future releases. It's pretty unique in its own way. So the base body is the same. However, we can see that we have wrapped forearms. The hands are wrapped as well. We have these boots, which are unlike anything we've had on the previous releases. And otherwise, the head is the same. And then it's the accessories that are actually kind of neat. So this is the first Daredevil that we have that actually also comes with fists. Finally, we have fists for Daredevil, who does a lot of punching. But what's especially fun about this Daredevil is that this was also the first one that gave us the billy clubs with the wire attachment. So this would allow for some posing of him using the billy club as kind of like that super long nunchuck type of thing. So this would give us the ability to give Daredevil poses the way he does in the comics, where he has his two billy clubs attached by this wire. Pretty neat. It's not really bendable as it is, but it's cool. Also note that the red on the billy clubs is actually a different red from the previous release. This is closer to being kind of a metallic red than the red that we have on the first Daredevil. As far as accuracy to the original design, it's fairly close, with the exception being his actual holsters for the billy clubs. I'll do a side by side, but you'll be able to see that he should actually have one on each side, and it shouldn't have a strap going like that. It should just be the single strap and then a billy club on each side. So pretty good accuracy, but not quite. And this guy you'll find on eBay for anywhere between $35 to $40. And now we have 90s armored Daredevil. This one came out as a retro figure. And this is also actually our first Daredevil that has way more accessories than any of the previous releases. The body mold is pretty different from anything that we've seen before in terms of Daredevil. The shoulder pads are definitely unique to this character. This chest design, I don't think we've seen on any other characters either. You can see that the head is also new. He's got this kind of chin strap thing there. And then it's molded into his face pretty well right here. We've got new feet this time around, but otherwise it's some nice molding. So that's not just painted silver, that is actually molded in. You can kind of see the edges, and that's on both the thigh and on the calf. The knees also have a bit of molding in there too, and then these back parts are also molded in. So a pretty neat design overall, I think pretty well executed. What's cool is his billy clubs are supposed to be attached to his wrists right here, and that's where we come into our accessories. So you can see he already has the fists on, and then of course he's got hands so that he can grip his billy clubs. In terms of the character removing the billy clubs in order to use them, you can pop off the fists, and then the cuffs come off, and then you can replace them with regular cuffs that don't have any billy clubs attached. And you can even see where it would technically be attached, although there's no actual attaching of them there. And then of course our actual billy clubs. This is the first time we have them in this particular color, but like the other ones, they do attach. And then this is also where we get our second civilian head. And I think this one is actually also used for Cyclops, but with obviously a different colored hair. But you can see it's quite an improvement over the original release. And this Daredevil you'll be able to find on eBay for about $40. And finally, we have what many collectors are calling the definitive Daredevil. So this is from a 3-pack that comes with obviously Daredevil, as well as Elektra and Bullseye. So this is the first time that we're seeing Daredevil in the fully red costume. I suspect that Hasbro did it that way because they thought that having it fully red the way it is in the comics may not be as appealing. However, if I'm wrong and there are versions that look like this in the comics, then please definitely let me know, because I'd be interested in seeing that. However, based on what I could find, it's just red Daredevil. So this is the first time we're getting it actually pretty darn accurate to how it looks in the comic books. So this is using the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, and one of the easy ways to tell is based on the toe articulation, and then all the other good stuff that the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man has. So this one has much better articulation than its predecessors, much better coloring overall, since we're actually getting a fully red Daredevil. And as far as accessories go, we have the same billy clubs as our black Daredevil, because he also comes with 2 different styles of the cable that attaches between the billy clubs. So you can't actually attach the 2 of these together in any kind of way. It's really just meant to be used with 1 billy club on each end, one at a time. So depending on what you want to pose, then you choose your one. Otherwise, you can see Daredevil has a fist on one and then a gripping hand in the other. And he of course comes with the alternate fist and gripping hand for the other side. And unfortunately, because he came as part of a 3-pack, he is a little bit harder to get. If you're going to try to get him individually, then you'll find him on eBay for about $80+. So real quick, I just wanted to show the color differences between the red billy clubs. So I don't know how well it comes off, but this one I would just say this is our standard red color. This one has a bit more of a metallic or a darker red sheen. It's easier to tell in real life. But then obviously our newest Daredevil has a much darker, almost maroon billy clubs. Otherwise, the sculpt looks pretty much exactly the same, with these 2 being pretty much exactly the same, and then this one being different since the rest of the Daredevils have ones that connect together to make one stick. Okay, so we actually have one last Daredevil. So this is the Daredevil that comes as part of the Marvel Unlimited digital comic book subscription if you get the $100 tier subscription. And so it comes with a bunch of stuff, one of them being obviously a Marvel Legends figure. So this one is obviously supposed to be another original yellow and brown costume. We can see how it compares to the original release. It's literally the same exact figure in terms of mold and slightly different color scheme. The D looks a little bit different, but you can still see that we've got our dots on the boots. And then our Billy Club is still the same type of Billy Club, even though we've got different colors. So really nothing super special about this. However, if this is what you're looking for, then this one you'll find on eBay for about $60+. And you know who goes really well with Daredevil is his pal Spider-Man. So check out that video over here.